In the episode called Take Your Seat, multiple characters are sitting in a cinema. Flaky forces her seat open and sits down, but then a spring goes through her torso, and then the seat closes and crushes her. In the background is a cat character who is inspired by the mascot of Fat Cat, which is the company responsible for the animation of the TV series. In Flippin Burgers, Puddles and Giggles are in a restaurant with fries and burgers. After Flippy notices Ketchup and Giggles, he flips out, then kills them along with Petunia, and then the restaurant explodes. Originally, Flaky was the chef and not Petunia, and at the beginning Mole was going to be seen at the counter deciding what he wanted to eat. Later on, after Flippy kills Giggles, he will put Mole on the coat rack by the back of his sweater, causing him to fall out with his skin stained in the sweater. Additionally, you can just see his mouth when he falls out. In the episode called Concrete Solution, multiple vehicles are waiting for Lumpy to lift the barrier to allow them to cross the bridge. One of the vehicles includes a lavender coloured car that is owned by Flaky, but Flaky can be seen owning other vehicles throughout the series, like a red and salmon coloured car in Easy Come Easy Go, a car with an unknown colour in Without a Hitch, and a purple electric scooter in A Bit of a Pickle. Towards the end of Peas in a Pod, Lumpy is seen trying to kill his clones, due to him seeing one trying to harm Cuddles, but fails to kill them, and multiple characters have died. Afterwards, Lumpy is seen driving a car that is powered by the legs of two clones. This is a reference to how a lot of the vehicles work in the animated show called The Flintstones. Nutty is a squirrel who loves candy or anything sweet, which is unlike Splendid, who is a different type of squirrel who loves acorns. In his first episode called Helpin' Helps, he is seen with an acorn. His home is shaped like one in It's a Snap and Better Off Bread, and also in Better Off Bread he also has a picture of one. He works for a newspaper company with a logo shaped like an acorn in See What Develops, and his own logo is shaped like one on his merchandise in Wrath of Khan, and also in Mirror Mirror. But there was an acorn that he disliked. That was the kryptonite that appears in Gems the Breaks, which makes Splendid ill, weak, and makes him vomit. Additionally, in Flippin Burgers, acorns are on the menu in the restaurant, so maybe Splendid is a common customer. In the episode called Who's the Flame, Puddles is on a ladder trying to save a cat from a tree. Goofy can also be seen trying to save a cat in the comic called Lost Claws. Additionally, this part of the comic was reused as inspiration for one of the Minifigure World figures. In Junk in the Trunk, Lumpy puts some washing into the washing machine and fills it to the top. He still has some washing to put in, so he starts to jump on it all to force it all inside. And if you pause at the right moment, you can see him with a third eye. In Take a Hike, Toothy gets bitten by a cobra and makes these whimpering sounds. This recording that was done by Warren Graff was reused in No Place to Go when Toothy jumps off the ship. And after seeing a fat vampire Lumpy in an ambulance in the episode called All in Vain. In Easy for You to Slay, Lifty and Shifty breaks into Flippy's house that looks like a Quonset hut. Inside we can see multiple rooms and one seems to be a living room which has different valuable items, like a massive TV, speakers, armour and weapons, just to mention a few. In Double Whammy Part 1 and 2, we can see what seems to be a different home to the one in Easy for you to slay, due to the interior looking so different. In this home, he has a bedroom, a bathroom, a kitchen, a home garage, and what seems to be his own work office. He has another home in Here Today Gone Tomorrow with a different bedroom, and a home in Over Your Hedge, but we don't get to see the interior. In Better Off Bread, you can see two seagulls stuck in oil. One can be seen in What a Way to Go when Cub is buried in the sand, and then multiple are seen eating Cub's remains at the end. 4 seagulls can be seen chasing the whale heart in A Change of Heart, and 3 can be seen in Idle Curiosity. But in Wipeout they have a bigger role, and are seen eating the remains of Handy, Cuddles, and sadly towards the end, they are seen eating poor Flaky alive. Additionally, seagulls can also be seen in the game called Splendid, and in the video promoting it.